Do your inner wheelhouse liners look something like this? Well, if they do, stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to show you a affordable yet custom way to make new liners for your vehicle using rubber sheet, this time on Challenge the Build. So the first step is you're going to want to remove the inner wheel liner, obviously, from your vehicle. Once you do that, go ahead and remove all of the plastic rivets from within it. Obviously, this one is pretty well dry rotted and torn up. If you've been following along on this project, this is the dually project that I did the airbag system on. And this thing sat in a garage in storage for about 10 years, hence why everything is just really dry and deteriorated. And what I wanted to do is, one of the final little aspects of this is the attention to detail is always where the build gets made. And I wanted to replace these. So I went online to try to find replacements and had a hard time finding the exact one. And the ones that I were finding are really expensive. And even if I had bought the factory replacement ones, there's a little bit of modification that has to be done to them anyway because of the height sensor and also the external shock that I put on this specific vehicle. So I went ahead and went to Amazon and found a sheet of 1/8 inch rubber. And what I decided to do was just make my own. So for under $25 a roll, this is a really nice industrial grade piece of rubber. And all I'm going to do is use the original inner liner. And rather than making a template directly from this, what I would like to do is I think I could do a little bit better job as far as fitment. So I also grabbed a piece of poster board. So I am going to use one as a template and trace out the top edge specifically. And then leave it long on the bottom. I'm going to just finish that tail off there. And I'm just going to leave it longer on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and transfer the hole as well. Once that is complete, throw this to the side. Using a good pair of scissors and shears. These are from KAI 7280s. These things are freaking awesome. I've cut a lot of fiberglass mat over the years with these, and believe it or not, they are still razor sharp. And then, just like a good old craft session, go ahead and cut out your template. And this is where, obviously, depending on whatever it is that you're doing, and you can use this theory and method for just about anything. Once you get your template created, the next thing we're going to do is, I guess I should punch out the holes, and then we'll go over to the truck and start kind of sketching in and starting to cut out some of the excess material to get our new template, and then transfer it to the rubber sheet. So after punching out the holes in the poster board, I went ahead and inserted the plastic rivets again. So what I'm going to do is insert the rivets to where they need to go. This is where your creativity in how you want to proceed with this comes into play. Another thing too is lighting. You want to have a lot of lighting where you're working. So I picked up one of these headlamps as well. These are from Cosoos. It's the adjustable LED band with spotlight. And they are awesome. Definitely another must-have tool. So then, using a razor blade or scissors, depending which method, just be careful, obviously, you don't want to cut yourself. This is where taking your time. I also found another rivet hole down here that wasn't being used from the old one, so that's another reason why I wanted to extend it down. I'm actually going to transfer that hole into it and using a center punch, finding the hole, and let's see, where's it at? There it is, push. So that'll transfer over now. Kind of like, feels like you're back in kindergarten or first grade, I guess, with taking a leaf and transferring a leaf onto paper. That's the height sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a slit around that. Push that in a little bit more. Take my scissors and open this up a little bit. And then with this being the front suspension and all of the articulation, we are going to have to jack it up to get motion. This has airbags on it, so I'm going to jack it all the way up. And that will be at the highest point, and then whatever it is at the lowest point, it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Once I get this done, we'll take it back over to the table and then trace it out on the rubber and continue on. So now that you have your basic shape of whatever it is that you're trying to do with the rubber and the inner wheel liners, you take your template, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but you lay your template down on your sheet of rubber. Ultimately, you don't want to, try not to waste too much of it. And then holding it firmly, go ahead and trace it out. What I ended up doing was cutting out too much and then realizing I needed to add more. So I took some masking tape and then just took a piece of cardboard that I cut off, added a piece, and then went ahead and then cut it out again. So this is, let's see here. So obviously this is what was, and this is what is, or at least going to be. So once you get everything traced out, using the same shears, I'm going to cut out our new liner, just like the poster board, nice and slow and steady. At this point, you could use a razor blade as well. That's why I really like these shears, because they are very useful for a lot of things. And considering how long I've had them, they are still razor sharp. These little details like this is where the builds will be set apart between yours and somebody else's. And then taking a block of wood, I'm going to get a 1/4-inch drill bit, my drill, punch a few holes in this, and then we'll be able to install it into the fender for the last time. take your rivets, insert your rivets. And there you have it. Old to new. Now it's time to go install it. And now, for the finished product, so overall, it fits really, really well. Quite a bit different than the old liner because of the pliability, I guess, as if that's even a word, or because of how pliable this is and how soft this is. I'm going to have to add a couple other rivets to this to hold it in solid. So same thing, drill a couple 1/4-inch holes, pop in a new rivets. We'll wrap this up and get this back on the ground. Well, after about a little less than an hour's worth of time and less than $25 for this one side for the rubber, the inner wheel liner is complete. One thing to note is this material is a lot more pliable than the old deteriorated liner. They do have different grades and qualities of rubber depending on the size of what you're trying to accomplish. I would say this is probably about 10 inches by 28 or so inches. And with the cutouts, you can kind of see that it is a little bit looser. It does flap around, but it won't cause suspension cycles up. Everything stays out of the way nicely, and will keep all of the majority of the mud, water, road debris up outside of the engine compartment. So really straightforward process, pretty simple. Definitely a big improvement over what was to what is now. So that does it for this video. I still have some work to do on the other side. All that you have left to do is go out there to challenge your build. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in an upcoming video.